Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is JGOD, and in today's video we're going to be breaking down another YouTuber's gameplay. Today's gameplay is going to be from Swagg XBL, and if you don't know who Swagg is, he is a YouTuber that currently has over 500,000 subscribers and has been posting Call of Duty content for the past 5 years. So he's definitely come a long way when it comes to content creation. Here's a look at one of his first videos.
Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Chris, or Swagg BO4 here, bringing you guys today a face cam commentary, like my first ever face cam commentary. I'm really excited to do this for you guys because I've never actually done this. I see a lot of people do it in their videos.
And obviously when we look at today's videos, he's still putting out high energy content.
Bro, your strike team is taking some L's right now. Bam, baby! Give me that! Da-na-na, na-na-na. One flip.
I would bet that the vast majority of you watching this video already know who he is and is already subscribed to him, with him having over 500,000 subscribers. But if you're not, I'm going to go ahead and leave a link to his channel in the description so you have easy access in case you want to subscribe and follow him for his streams and daily uploads. So now what we'll do is go ahead and transition to the gameplay breakdown. This is something I typically do on my channel, where I kind of observe people's gameplay and I basically break down what they do really well and maybe what they need to improve on. Typically with a high skilled player like Swagg XBL, there's not going to be a ton of mistakes that I'm probably going to see in this video because he's an absolute slayer, pub stomper extraordinaire. He is a beast at Call of Duty. He's been playing it for a very long time at a very high level. So hopefully as a result of that, we'll be able to incorporate some of the things he does into our own gameplay and we can improve through this process. And in case any of you guys are noticing the gameplay looks a little bit different, it's because it was recorded from theater mode with Swagg's permission. So for this initial sequence after he spawns in, obviously it being safeguard, the spawns are very rigid. He knows that the spawns are going to be pretty much in this back area. And if they spawn out, they'll spawn out by that trailer area to that left side where he's kind of looking now. He goes and comes around the side here and he does a good job of not actually taking any damage because he's coming at a flank. He shoots the guy coming out of there, doesn't get a clean shot, and decides to re-engage from a flank. A lot of times what you'll notice with very good players, they don't actually take a lot of damage because they're pretty smart on how they take the engagement. Then he absolutely destroys this dude, does a 360 before he lines up the target. He knew where the guy was, but he was kind of in a bad spot since he was in the open. So close to spawns, the enemy team was able to close that distance. And one thing you'll typically notice for most of these high skilled players is sometimes they'll take early death, but then that leads to a very long streak. Kind of like they're feeling out their opponent, finding out how people move around the map, and they do their best to make the adjustments based off what they experienced early on in the match. So now with the second round, they're going to go ahead and have to stop the objective from moving all the way across the map, because in case you guys didn't know, most pub stompers want to try and get as many kills as possible and get the win. So you can see right here he pushes and gets that first blood and instinctively knows to circle back around this way, assuming that someone's going to come around the corner. You can see him peeking the area. The guy ends up running right in front of him, and it's no surprise that he ends up taking the guy out so dang quick. And that's not a lucky kill there. That was all about map awareness, knowing that the enemies will rush around that side to try and get an easy flank. He positioned himself the right way after getting that first blood. He was able to get another easy kill. And then right here with low health, he does kind of make a little bit of a mistake by running through mid-map. He gets hit with a little shock drone and pretty much 3 people are lasering him. So that's always something to keep in mind. Even the best players will make some mistakes at times just because we're not perfect. There's no way we'll ever be perfect at the game. We could just do our best to make the smartest decisions possible. And this time around, when he pushes through mid, it's a little bit of a smarter decision because he has a teammate in the trailer. And since he was able to come around mid so quick, he's able to get this easy little flank. He missed a couple shots there, but he was able to take out that first guy, uses a little shock drone to kind of get an easy kill, ends up lining the dude up, takes him out pretty easy. Now he has the Tempest, and that's the pre-nerf Tempest, by the way, so obviously it's a little bit stronger than it probably should be. You can see him cleaning up the team pretty much, comes around, kind of positioned in a smart way because he still needs to heal. He heals himself up, and now he can go ahead and start aiming for that spawn. A lot of the enemies should be coming through that area, so it should be some pretty easy kills, which will allow him to cycle through his streaks. And although he hasn't been hardcore on the objective, the amount of kills he's racking up is stopping the enemy from actually moving their bot. And for this next scenario, you're going to see that he kind of gets out positioned because the guy just out camps him. At the end of the day, you can't always predict where people are going to be 100% of the time. You can see that the guy gets an engagement there, and it looks like the guy is going to chase. He goes ahead and jumps down thinking the guy's going to be hiding in the corner. And although he was right, he just happened to pick the wrong corner. So that's kind of a 50-50 scenario. So if he would have picked the correct corner, he would have more than likely just won that gunfight and got that attack chopper. So although that was a little bit unfortunate, he continues to go on an even longer streak. So go ahead and make sure you stick around so we'll go ahead and break down what he actually changed to make sure he can go on that longer streak. I skipped ahead just a little bit so we can go ahead and get to this particular streak. You see he's pre-aiming this doorway knowing that more than likely someone will come through there. As soon as someone doesn't come through, he goes ahead and push back with his teammate. And one little trick that I see that Swagg does very well and does it very often, and he has done it throughout the gameplay, is he assesses the situation. A lot of times what he'll do is run into an area where he knows he's safe, do a quick map assessment, find out what's going on in the mini-map, where his teammates are, where enemies are more than likely to be. He'll do these micro stutters. You can see how he did it walking through that doorway. A lot of times he's assessing the map. I'm sure more than likely that is exactly what he's doing, because there's no other reason to do that little stutter step other than know, hey, you know what, I'm safe. Let's go ahead and assess the situation. Which direction should I go? So he's making these split-second decisions based off looking at the mini-map, taking that quick little pause. Which way do I go? What do I need to do? That's definitely something you could take from this gameplay. If you feel like you're in a safe spot, assess that situation before you just run blindly, because a lot of times you're going to run into a situation where you're going to get yourself killed. Based off the minimap, you can see that there were a handful of people in the trailer. He went ahead and took out the guy in the corner, ended up lining up both the other guys, Tempest the third guy. So it worked out very much in his favor where his teammates were. Now he knows that they're spawning in his back area. You can see the UAV passing, telling you that there's a lot of enemies in this general direction, and he has a ton of the Tempest left. So these enemies don't have a chance, especially if you're very accurate with the Tempest, you're able to destroy. Still reading that mini-map, that guy just spawned right there. That's not a good spawn, but he was still able to take that guy out as he ran right out of spawn. And the cool thing about this particular sequence is even though he's nowhere near the objective, he's slaying out so hard on the enemy team that the teammates are able to just walk that bot as soon as it gets restarted. And unlike the last streak, he was able to get the attack chopper this time around, which is going to be very crucial in helping the team push that objective. And I bring up that aspect because there's several times in the comment section, even the comment section on the video that I posted from my perspective on this particular gameplay, people say, well, they got 0 objective time, so they weren't playing the objective. And I strongly disagree with that kind of perspective, because at the end of the day, if you don't think his streaks are helping and him slaying out the enemy team is helping, then you are sadly mistaken on how to play Call of Duty. If you guys are a little bit unsure what I mean by playing the objective, you should definitely go ahead and check out my how to play hardpoint video, because I break down the different roles in objective game mode. And since Swagg is almost always the best player in the lobby, he always takes on that Slayer role, and most YouTubers do, because at the end of the day, that Slayer is going to rack up a ton of kills, can influence the game if they actually call in their streaks. And the way I always think about it is, who would you rather be racking up those kills and keeping the enemies off the objective and away from the objective? The guy who has a super high KD, high score per minute, solid gun skill, and can call in their streaks every single match? Or that guy that goes 5 and 25 on your team? So now that our team was able to walk that bot with ease, the enemy doesn't have very much time. They have about 2.5 minutes to walk the bot, which doesn't really leave the enemy that much time. But overall, what we've seen from the gameplay today is that he's a pretty good player. He plays on a lot higher sensitivity than I do, or even most players do, because as you become a better player, sometimes you can just get used to a higher sensitivity. It takes a lot of time, but obviously he's invested a lot of time in Call of Duty. I think it's always interesting to see other players play the game, especially when they play at a high level, because there's different things they do. See right there, he jump shotted when he was trying to go for the guy. Now he's trying to cover the flank because he's predicting that someone's coming around the side. Then oddly enough, someone comes around the side. How does that happen? Obviously there's tons of practice involved, and through a ton of trial and error, you learn the behaviors of enemy players, because more often than not, players kind of do the same behavior over and over. They're going to run right out of spawn, or they're going to come around that left side for a flank. And sometimes things happen just because of bad timing. You can see right now that the enemy came right through mid-map. All of his teammates are in that little trailer area, so there's not a ton of map control. That's why that guy was able to walk right through mid, and that unfortunately ends the second streak that he went on in this particular gameplay. I did want to give another shout out to Swagg again. I do appreciate him letting me break down his gameplay, and he is definitely a pretty chill guy. I actually had the opportunity to meet him when I went to CWL Anaheim, and he even took the time to chat with me a little bit, so I definitely appreciated that as well. So I think that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for the video. If you guys did enjoy the content in any way, please hit that like button. Let's see if we can get this video over 500 likes. Definitely appreciate it if we could actually hit that number. And also, if you're brand new to the channel, I typically cover Call of Duty news, in-game updates, best class setups, subscriber breakdowns, as well as other tip and trick videos on how to improve a Call of Duty. So if any of that's the content you typically like to watch, make sure you subscribe and turn those notifications on. I should have another subscriber breakdown coming out pretty soon where I'm going to feature more than likely 3 different subscribers, but make sure you submit your videos if you haven't already. Details in the description. Also, if there's any other YouTubers you'd like to see gameplay broken down for, let me know down in the comments section below. I'll see what I can do to work my magic to get a hold of those gameplays. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. I do appreciate all the support you guys show on a regular. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.